Hello everyone, good morning. We are here to start a new day of DebConf. We have here Arthur in a black t-shirt, Sérgio and Gabriela, and they are talking to us about how we are building our local community.
So today we have the Debian Brazilian local community from Brazil. In this picture we have the logo, in which we have a bridge in top. It's a symbol of the city that we live. It's called Brasília, of course. And I would like to start showing in Brazil where we live and where is this community located. We are in the exact middle of Brazil. This is the capital that was created like 50-something years ago. And we are there now. From the community. These are some photos that we also have. Photos from the beginning. We have people here in the audience that was there this time, a long time ago. We have Kanashiro, we have some other DDs, we have Terceiro, and other like people that went to the first photo on the top. And the other pictures are just meetings that we did during while we are trying to get improved in the Debian project and improve the community. The photo above, we have the micro DebConf as well, and some hack labs that we participate and we go, some restaurants and some online meetings as well. And this is us, Debian Brazil. Here in Kosovo, we took this picture, I think it was yesterday, holding the flags, very cool. We have the Brasilia team here on the right, but we also have people that join us online meetings, like some Debian developers that is joining us. For example, we have Sérgio, to help us to publish and upload the packages, help us debug things. So it's very cool because we are very integrated with the Debian Brazil community as well. We have some groups that are from Brazil in general, and have just the Brasilia group. So beginning with the issues that we faced during, I think when we started like almost 5 years ago when we wanted to start a group. First of all, there's a lack of a local group. So it was we knew that we have people in Brasilia that they would like to contribute. They'd like to have something to have a meeting, for example, and talk about Debian, about the project, but they don't know how they can join everyone and make this happen. So this was the first issue. The second one I already said as well. So people interested in contributing, but they didn't know as well how they can do that. Also, trouble to teach people and get content translated, for example. This is one big issue that we faced. Then in the future of this presentation, throughout this presentation, we're going to show you how we can we improved that by teaching and also having better documentations and tutorials. And the other problem is that people lived far from each other, even living in the same city. This one another issue as well. And we're going to talk more about COVID as well and the impacts that did in our community.
And how we started. Debian Brazil wasn't as much active as we wanted about 5 or 7 years ago. Then there was some Debian developers, but there wasn't active Debian local communities. So about 2015, it was held a mini DebConf in Brasília at UNB. It's a university in Brasília, and that event started to create more attention to Brazil, and after that, we started to create new local communities. And after that was when we created the Debian Brasília community. In May 21st, 2017, in a meeting of friends, it was created, and the goal was to teach how to use Debian to newcomers and get more people to know the Debian project. We also use this opportunity to talk more about free software, and because a lot of people there don't know about free software and the importance of the philosophy. And we started also to get more contributors. So I started to contribute to Debian just because of the community. I became Debian maintainer because people at the community helped me. And the other goal was to gather some friends and volunteers and socialize and use Debian and get the project to be bigger.
Okay. Is it on? So how do we encourage people to get into the community? First of all, we talk about the Debian project at universities and local events. For example, I joined Debian because there was a subject at my university where we had to contribute to free software projects, and Arthur had the image finder going on. So after it ended, I continued in the community, and that's why I'm here now. We also encourage students to participate in programs like GSOC and Outreach through Debian projects as well.
Yeah, so that's hello? Hello? Yeah, so that's a good thing because like people that are in the Debian Brasília today, they use these programs to join, get more involved in the project. So I started doing the GSOC with Kanashiro, that was mentored, I think, by Terceiro. So we followed this line, and then we have people contributing and getting more and more people join by these awesome projects that we can use, and they help us improve.
Yeah, so we've had 5 students that participated in GSOC already. And another thing is that we have people from outside our city joining our meetings and help us to understand how to contribute to Debian. So how it works. Now we have weekly meetings online every Thursday, but before the pandemic we used to have in-person meetings, and our way of learning also changed. First, we had synchronous subjects. We would give people something to study and have a fixed topic to discuss. But if someone missed the meeting, they would get lost on the other ones. So now we just give them the material, and then the meetings are open for questions, and we discuss whatever comes up. We also have a Telegram group that's connected to an IRC bridge where people can ask questions and get help.
Yeah, this group is awesome because a lot of people in the university they don't actually know what is IRC. So creating this bridge, we have this compatibility layer between Debian developers that just use IRC and people that just use Telegram, and this is one issue that we faced in the beginning because we tried to get people in the IRC, and that like almost everyone knows that IRC you need to have a server or use another server from other person, like for example Element, and people don't really want to use another app, install another app on your phone. So it was an awesome thing that we did also for other groups in Brazil. That Debian Brazil helps us to configure that and provide all of the infrastructure as well.
Yeah, and that sums up about the knowledge exchange. We have some videos from Debian developers from Brazil and blogs where we can look up for information.
Just one point here. When we move to synchronous to asynchronous, that's a good, awesome point, and I think this is the most important thing that we learned throughout these years, is that we learned that we cannot force and lock the way we're gonna show people content. We need to be dynamic, and because people are for sure very different from each other, and their learn speeds changed a lot. So if you want to give just one content per week, that person will get bored if she or he has a potential to learn more than the others. And it will be the same for the other type of person that is slow learning and is trying to understand, but doesn't have all the knowledge to, like, the student doesn't understand how it works, everything. So when we say asynchronous, is that we start using videos on YouTube and other platforms recorded by a Debian developer in Brasília called Heriberto. And he developed a bunch of videos just like explaining what is a package and going to how you can build your first package, develop your first package, publish, and much more. And he's still evolving this content. For example, last year he produced how you can package using Docker, which is a pretty cool technology right now. And so you don't need to install SBuild and other tools that we normally use. And this is the most important topic here, is that we changed to asynchronous because now we just have the meetings, the weekly meetings, to ask questions and publish the packages. If I have a question in one package, I know that will be a Debian developer in that meeting, and I can ask him how I can fix that and what is going on, because the documentation of Debian is good, but sometimes you need someone holding your hand and helping you to get where you want to be. So about some events, we have the Micro DebConf that happens in 2018. It is this photo in the bottom here, right bottom. It was in actually University of Brasília, so it's a university that we have students from all kinds of engineering. And this was a moment that when we started the community, we felt that maybe we need to we start with an event, and it was very like awesome. We had some cool lunch as well, and a lot of talks. The other day, the second one is a Debian Day in 2019, which is this photo here in the left. So we went to a restaurant. For those who was in Curitiba's DebConf, this is not rice and beans, and we're eating something else. This is chicken, by the way, I think. And more meetings. So now you see that we started in the way we're moving. This is like when COVID started. Not this picture here, but the other ones. This is in the right bottom. We have Calango, which is a hacker club in Brasília, a pretty awesome place that you can just go. Joanil presented us this place, and we start doing the meetings. But as we talked about, people live not like apart from each other. And it's hard to get everyone in the same place to have these meetings. And at the same time, COVID appears in the scenario, and we needed to move to another way of doing meetings. That's why we started using the Debian instance of Jitsi to do our meetings. And it works fine until now, and now we get to the point of the future.
So one of the problems we have now is that every time a newcomer gets in the community, we need to do everything again, teach all that we already taught everyone else. So we need to start documenting more our tutorials, create more blogs. We have a site called Brasilian.debian.net. So we need to start documenting more what are we doing. And another thing is try to bring Mini DebConf Brazil to Brasília. We are planning to do that next year.
Yeah, maybe March next year. We are already discussing with the Debian Brazil group to do this Mini DebConf. We still don't know what is the place and what is the exact day, but we are planning.
And another thing is that we want to have more packages being published and maintained by local members. And we also would like to have more Debian maintainers and Debian developers. And maintain internal tools so we can collect metrics and generate other things that may help us.
Yeah, some internal tools that we have our site to maintain now, and we created an internal tool that basically uses the, I think it's UDD, the database from Debian that has all the things of contributions. So we're using that database to grab all the contributions from people of Brasília, and we upload that to our site. So every time every month, we run this script, this internal tool that we collect and put this data. We're going to show it in the end of the site as well.
Okay, so we also want to go back to having face-to-face events because our online meetings work, but it gets boring after a while. So we want to gather people, hang out, meet each other. We also have a goal of helping humble people from Brasília. We have some members that have been doing this. They show Debian to people. Sometimes they even gather money to buy them a computer and install Debian. We also want to better our metrics. We have some about actual contributions, but we want to see who's joining the meetings, commits, and
closing bugs as well.
Yeah. And last of all, we want to continue to share knowledge with people like we've been doing forever.
So we have our site. We are doing some things right now. So maybe this URL could change in the future. We still don't know. But in our site, you can see about us, page, a blog, and the next events calendar. So our weekly meetings for now, and the contributions. So I'd like to quickly show the site here. This is the main page. We sorry that is in Portuguese. We still didn't have time to translate to other languages, but we have the about the community. We have a pretty short explanation how you can join us and what you should do. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay. Yes. So we have some faces here from Brasília. I think the one who is here that we didn't talk is Kanashiro. He's in here, the D. And Joênio that did the talk yesterday. He's also now starting to join Debian Brasília. This was a good thing that Júnior is from Brasília, but he's living in France and he's trying to work more with music. So he talked to us yesterday to maybe help him packaging some to package some things to music. For example, Foxtrot is one of the tools that he uses, and so now he's going to join us, and he's already here. At the top we have the events, and the for me the most important part here that you can look is about the contributions. So we have in the top we have the events, and so we have each one. So if you open, for example, Sérgio, you're gonna see all the packages that he's uploaded, the versions, the distribution, and who was the sponsor. So basically, I think our sponsors is Sérgio and Kanashiro most of the times, but sometimes we have another Debian developer that is helping us to maintain. So this is the internal tool that I just talked about earlier. And I think that's it. We plan to do a 20 minutes talk, but we have 45. If you have any questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Obviously, you have a great community, so it's really nice to see that. What is the motivation of people that join your activities, especially among the younger students, I would say, or so?
Okay, so I think one of the motivations is to, first of all, to be passionate about Debian. So we show them the project and we hope that they really enjoy, because we are all volunteers. So this is the first time we met a person that likes to contribute. We explain. So this is a volunteer project. We're not going to receive any kind of money to work. and we start showing more the operational system. So we have people that's coming to the project to say, oh, I really would like to know about operational systems and how they work, what is Linux. Sometimes they mix operational system with Linux. It's just one big thing, but it's not, we all know. But we try to show them the passion that we have. We try to pass the passion that we have for the project, so they can, if they grab a little bit of that, they maybe join us and continue in the community. I think I answered your question, right?
Regarding the physical location, are you planning to get back to face-to-face meetings and events? How do you deal with, like, how do you find the place? Like, do you have a fixed place? Do you have to pay rent? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, normally we talk to local universities, so they can provide us a room. When we started in the University of Brasília, so there's a lab in the university that, during that time I wasn't a student, and I just talked to the teachers and professors. They provided us this room, and we started teaching us. So mostly of the time we talk with people inside and sometimes outside of the Brasília community, so they helped us provide without charging nothing, like anything.
Any more questions? Anyone? Yes, there's one here.
Do I need to sit up? Testing. All right. So for new contributors, do you have some process in place to coordinate the process of finding someone to sponsor those uploads?
Jonas?
We have some Debian developers in our group, so which are always helping us understand packaging and everything. So we just continue the process, and since they've been helping us, they just continue and sponsor the packages and uploads.
Anyone else? Okay, in that case, join me thanking the speakers, and thank you very much for your presentation.